Hi everybody, it's me, Mike from laughingplace.com, and I want to talk to you about a new show called Earth to Ned, and it's going to be on Disney Plus starting this Friday, September 4th, and it's actually a talk show, but a talk show hosted by a big alien creature. So it's pretty interesting from that perspective, but the very cool thing about it is that it's from the Jim Henson Company, and it actually feels like something that Jim Henson might have created had he survived to see this era. It's a talk show, but it's also kind of a parody of a talk show and a parody of contemporary talk shows where they play a lot of fun games and do crazy stuff like that. The main character, Ned, is voiced by the actor Paul Rugg, who's a voice actor. You might know him from Animaniacs or Freakazoid, if you remember that cartoon. And he's kind of like a pompous but also naive sort of character, so that's kind of fun. And my favorite character is the sidekick, Cornelius, he's trying to follow Ned's commands, but he also kind of doesn't fully respect him, and he's also kind of clueless, so that's pretty funny. There's 2 interviews per episode. 2 different celebrities show up. They get beamed onto the ship, and Ned interviews them about like Earth culture and tries to find out different things that he's interested in each episode from Earth customs. And in between the interviews, there are little sketches. Sometimes Cornelius gets beamed down, or up actually, as the spaceship is buried underground. He gets beamed up to the surface to find out something about Earth and humanity, and he interacts with different celebrities on Earth, or he'll go and do like a remote segment from, like he did one from a cemetery to find out about ghosts. So each episode also kind of has its own little theme. Like there was a Halloween episode that I got to see, and then there was actually a Star Wars focused episode, which was surprising to me. But it had Billy D. Williams, Lando Calrissian was one of the guests, and actually had a cameo appearance by BB-8. So there's some Disney synergy going on there. There's actually a musical episode that I got to see that had an appearance by some of the High School Musical, the series cast members, and then Crazy Ex-Girlfriend star Rachel Bloom was a guest, and she did a big song. So there's a lot of fun, different stuff happening, but the main attraction to me is the puppets. Obviously, it's the Jim Henson Company, so they did a great job putting together the puppets and building the sets, and the performers are all incredibly talented. So it does have the technical side going for it, and it does have the humor side going for it. I think if you're a fan of the style of humor that the Jim Henson Company is known for, and the style of puppetry that they're known for, I think you're probably really going to like Earth to Ned. Sometimes the entertainment value of each episode is a little bit dependent on which guests they get. Like there were a couple guests that I saw in the 5 episodes that were sent to us for review. There were a couple guests that were a little bit kind of duds to me, but there are others that were really fantastic. Like the first episode opens with Andy Richter from the Conan O'Brien show, Late Night with Conan O'Brien, all the way up through the current Conan show. And obviously he's famous for being a talk show sidekick. So he gives Cornelius some advice on how to be a talk show sidekick. And Andy is just always really funny. So that's a great guest to start the show with. And then there's a bunch of other really fun celebrities. It's Gillian Jacobs from Community, Kristen Schaal from Bob's Burgers and Gravity Falls. Reggie Watts is really great. He's from, Comedy Bang Bang and Late Late Show with James Corden. It's just a parade of pretty good gets, and some of them look happier to be there than others and are more willing to like play along and have fun with Ned and Cornelius. And when they are, you can tell that they're having a good time, and that of course makes the audience have a good time. So those are always the better episodes to me. I do also want to mention the Clods, and these are these little kind of like gremlins / critters type creatures that live on the ship. They're almost like infesting the ship, and they pop up all over the place. Like they'll pop up between the desk and the couch during the interview segments, and they'll scare the guests, and the guests will react to them, or they'll do little sketches in between the interview segments and stuff. So those are some really fun characters as well. And of course, those are just little, I think they're probably stick puppets But overall, yeah, I think Earth to Ned is something that I'll continue to tune in for to catch the episodes that I haven't seen already, and I might actually rewatch some of the ones that I have seen when they start releasing them on Disney Plus, because it's right up my alley as a fan of puppets and Jim Henson Company. Of course, the Muppets originated with Jim Henson and have since been sold to Disney, but Jim Henson Company remains its own entity, and they've created the show, and the show is airing on Disney Plus. So there's a lot of corporate crossover going there as well. But I would recommend this show. I hope you guys enjoy it when it starts this Friday, September 4th on Disney Plus. Hey, you know what? It's got puppets, it's got cool celebrities, funny guest stars, and it's got a lot of good humor in it, and I'd recommend it for those reasons. Thanks so much for watching. This is Mike Celestino from laughingplace.com. We'll see you real soon.